Hello everyone, Forsaken Reaper here, and I've got our 199th episode, yes. I can't believe it's here already. And we've got a duel between me, Forsaken Reaper, sorry for that before I start, and Easy Bot of the Worm Chat. And we've got over here in pink, Littletoast, and over here in red, Michael2274. They were both Russia. I was the British forces, and obviously the computer was Worm Chat. And this was my first time actually playing as the British forces against people. I play with them a lot against bots and stuff, but I'll admit I was a bit concerned at first because, as you can see, this is the thing that frightens me the most infantry-wise of the Russians. I don't care about pretty much anything else besides their anti-tank guns, but these guys right here, the conscript squad. I mean, look, there's 6 of them in a squad, 6 rifles. They can demolish troops, and I caught them here with my submachine gunners. But they got even reinforced even more with just like engineers, and as you can see, close quarter range, best for submachine guns. But when there's like, what is it now, 10 guys with rifles, bolt action shooting at you, it's not much of. I knew I was not going to win this battle. I mean, I hate to say never, but I mean, honestly, not very likely. And as you can see right there, I didn't. But this is one of my favorite things about the German forces. The sniper, he's awesome. They unfortunately saw him first, so I didn't get the element of surprise. But boom, look at that. Dismembered. Like literally all his limbs except his right arm dismembered. He missed. Or did he hit probably this guy over here? Yeah, yep. You can tell by the dismemberment. They flanked him over there, but they're getting flanked over there. Then he sort of realized what was going on, decided to get really close, and I don't even know what happened there. He just went around and hopped over, but again, the stupid conscript squad frightens me due to that, just the plain, just ferocity, strength, and numbers. This is what they sort of sent a flanking with there. I completely forgot to get that, but as you can see, my snipers basically are pretty much dead, very injured. Counteroffensive on the center here with the bot. I sort of teamed up with my little bolt action dudes, my Tommies right there. Sent them running for the hills, which is a good thing. How do I get out of this? I don't freaking... Yeah. Either way. And attack on the top of the hill. I've always been able to hold this hill for at least a majority of the thing. This is my favorite place to hold up in this map. Smoky, it's my favorite map, honestly. And this is why right here. It's an uphill climb to get to it from all sides. So dominating position. All I gotta do is put an MG right here, and that takes care of this whole thing. If they decide to come up any other ways, just switch the MG out, suppresses them, get another squad up there, and you got them. I mean, just kill them by indirect fire. And a little skirmish right here. I can't remember if they. I can't remember if they won this one or not. Oh, on fire. Stop, drop, and roll. Running in a green field on fire. Not a good idea. I think there's fighting. Yeah, massive fighting. You got a freaking MG. I hate the Russian MG too, because it's so mobile. Unlike the Vickers, which what the Germans have. And this was really just a pain in my butt right there. This stupid house. Because I mean, it obviously MG against Springfields, or I can't remember what the British use. But right now, I'm blue. I'm losing, not by much, and it's only 5 minutes in. But I mean, it's pretty drastic right now. The Russians, why I hate them the most, and I hate fighting them, is they have these super manpower resources, so they can just swarm your positions if you don't have them solidified enough. And that's sort of what they're doing. Littletoast and Michael2274, they're swarming. There, I never really put up much resistance against this thing here. Sorry for the choppiness of the frames. I tried even clearing up more space, but I've been running low lately, and I apologize. But I think it's a really great duel, so either way, you'll just have to forgive me for that. But as you can see, they sort of abandoned the frontal assault after the first conscript squad got decimated. And I've got my infantry in this like little building right here. It's got the 3 windows facing out, so they're pretty much all facing this way, so they can hold them off right there. They're taking house in a building right there. No man's land here. And really, it's just like chaos. I could not get these my stupid Vickers on these Russian morons. And what was going on? Oh yeah, I completely forgot about these guys. I was so micromanaging of units. It's a double-edged sword, and Oh yeah, that's what I was doing. I was just freaking taking out that building because it was. I should have done it with this one, but I couldn't get close enough. And if you look at the health, I mean, it's like literally a shot, and then of course they get pinned. My MG guy goes the wrong way. Things are not looking great for me now, infantry fighting wise. But as you can see, like they pretty much taken destroyed all the forces stationed here. They have the area. All they had to do is capture the point. But for anyone who did I post that video? I can't remember if I did, but this is one of my favorite things about the German commander I have. In fact, it is the most favorite thing I have. Well, okay, whatever. Either way, awesome new thing by the British. Glider assault. Boom! They didn't know that. They did not even see that coming. Sent my commandos in. Completely forgot about the effect that the MG would have on them. I mean, if you look at the range, I probably should have thought about that a bit more before just send a glider in, and I was like, frick! Because those commandos, those guys are good, and it's like 400 manpower, or 700, 500 manpower, so it's not cheap. And as you can see here, we got a little close quarters engagement going on. Sorry again about the choppiness of frames, I'm getting mixed. Yeah, this is where they got. Oh yeah, no, they're talking for them. And this is where I actually was able to hold all of the points. And I just locked it down, and they were thinking, whoa, what the heck happened? Because before they had those, they were about to get this one, but thankfully the glider troops, despite them having to end up retreat, they did distract them long enough from not being able to take it to being able to, me being able to just kill them and keep the troops. And as you can see right here, I was angry because I thought I could sneak them up and get a demolition charge on that building. No such luck. I was angry there too, but as you can see, I mean, look at this massive amount of counterattack force. A mortar, an engineer squad, a machine gun squad, an anti-tank gun squad, another machine gun squad. Obviously, they're splitting up, but, I mean, you only really need one machine gun thing. Like, oh, look at me. I think that's Mike. Yeah, he's like, oh, look at me. I destroyed the glider. And, this is when they began this massive counterattack on my tiny little submachine gun force. They even commandeered the MG42. Again, like I said in my previous Duel video, defensive weapon, but still, if you can get them locked down, they just wreak havoc. I think I caught one casualty for the 4 of them. And this is when they started taking it. But I had my own little massive counterattack, I should say. My commandos, these guys are the boss. And then I can just I was just sitting from the side. And then I got my Vickers to pin them down, because when I killed that guy, and then I just got them up close, and then they just wasted them. Chuck a grenade, boom, get it done. And obviously now here they've taken that point, they've solidified it greatly, and they're inching forward over here on no man's land. Little engagement with this grenadier squad. But right now things are looking good for me because I have got them down a greatly large amount. I'm retaking back this point. Notice the mortar, but thankfully this German dude with a flamethrower just pushes the whole thing back. As you can see, they're massing their manpower for another freaking charge. Oh yeah, I forgot to show you. I sort of counterattacked here, about to take this point, but oh no, it's a T-70 light tank, which is stronger than I had hoped. But this is when I realized. This made me extremely paranoid because I was thinking, oh no, if they've got this is just the beginning. They're gonna get T-34s and all this crazy paranoia running through my mind. So I thought I gotta get something. But the only thing I could afford with my fuel was an AA, as you can see, I'm building now, an AA tank. And I had hoped originally, as you can see, I just turned around, hoped that the MG would sort of slice it up a bit. It did not. In fact, it was kind of shameful. Don't know why he didn't. He sort of. I mean, I don't think he really knows the tank controls, Michael2274, that well. Not saying that I'm like an expert at it, but as you can see, sending in backwards, and it actually comes to a cool showdown between the AA tank and whatnot. You've got a anti-tank gun hiding in the corner there. That's actually a good strategy. I didn't notice before. I'm gonna copy that now. And and as you can see, they've wiped out my whole defensive thing up there because all I had to do was keep those 2 troops up there, and I would just completely have it. Didn't even have to waste resources on them. But now they're about to take it, and this AA tank comes. This is a cool little battle between the two. This Centaur, I believe it is. Yep. And I was like, no, I just gotta get him 100 points. And then I sent my commandos up to deal with these stupid mortars who kept bombarding him. Sent in my commandos. I actually was able to take this thing despite that, but they didn't really last too much longer. Didn't at first realize because I was micromanaging. Where is this thing going? Probably like right here.
Heavy machine gun crew killed.
Or no, is it? I don't know.
Enemy causing trouble, trying to take one of our points.
Oh yeah, because about the mortar thing at first I was like, oh, gotta get the mortar, so I'll just surprise him.
HQ report the enemy have 75
Then,
points.
oops. But right now we got the centaur action here. They got less than 75 points. All I got to do was hold them off. All I gotta do is take at least 1 point. I'm doing good. Now there's really solidifying the defensive position up on my defensive position originally. And I sort of just charge up the hill, charge up my way, right through the, the side door, I guess. Oh, come on now. Not with this part. And I just sort of, it's just a boom, boom, boom. At first I was like, oh crap, that did nothing. Then get closer and closer, and you see just really how weak this thing is. I mean, it's a great anti-infantry, as you saw, but boom. But I mean, with all these troops, I mean, how can you defend against it? Except for the fact that it's a freaking awesome, best freaking vehicle in the game. I exaggerate, of course, but I mean, this thing is a boss. I was dumbing it down for this moment, but I mean, this thing, I was so shocked by this thing. I was woohoo! I mean, I just cleared out their whole. Imagine the infantry equivalent I would have had to do to get rid of this equivalent of these Soviet troops up here. A drastic amount. But as you can see, as all things, freaking stupid anti-tank guns miss.
We have only 50 points remaining.
But bum, 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 bum. And it's just awesome. And it's just oops. And I mean, it's just, I'm thinking, oh no, they're gonna destroy this thing. This thing's a boss. I cannot let this thing get destroyed. And what do you know? I just troll, spin around, and drive around in a circle. Oh, that was one of the greatest probably the most joyous part of the match. Just riding around in a circle around their anti-tank gun. And then, obviously, they try and sneak an infantry unit in there, which they do successfully, until I go with this freaking centaur. Bum, 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 bum. I mean, it's just indestructible. It's indestructible. It is the equivalent of the T-34 in Operation Barbarossa. I mean, look up the history on that. I'm not going to explain it now, but this thing is an unexpected, and this is when they hit me right center of mass. I got lucky, but I was curving to go around, but I mean, this thing is just indestructible. It's not indestructible, but I mean, it's so fast they can't get it. I think that this is where I used my strafe mode, where I just eliminated all those guys. And then, oh no, they got this super big bad giant freaking anti-tank vehicle, I guess. And no! But by then I think I had created another one, did I? Oh, gotta fix this camera here. Wish there was like a reset. Did I create another one? I don't know, I can't remember. But either way, I love the Centaur. Fully endorse it. It's a great machine. I didn't even want to use infantry anymore after that, but obviously how can you win a war without? And so, or battle at least, and they just, again, another massive counterattack by the Russians. But now I know how to beat that. Before it was the MG, but then they can just flank it, and you can't cover really all your side with an MG. And once they combine that with like this anti-tank, what is this thing, assault gun, it's really, really hard to counter that, which is why I would lose sometimes, because, I mean, I'm not like making excuses, or not trying to, at least. I'm not trying to make excuses like, oh, this is why I sometimes lose, but there are tactical errors that both sides make, including me, if at all possible. And as you can see, the main force of that was heading down this way. The rest of it was just clearing out this way. And obviously with a big anti-tank gun and a mobile machine gun, where can you go wrong at? Except until you get another one of these beauties coming in. That's right, I did create another one. I mean, it's just fantastic, and I'm sort of like firing from just my victors right there. Really did not defend. I'm running low on manpower and fuel and stuff, because I'm trying to build these centaurs. After I saw that, and even before that, obviously, with 15 minutes in, you're sort of running low on the manpower here. And they have less than 25 points, so I'm thinking, all I got to do is hold one, and it's up here as you can see. I've resisted valiantly, and even currently am resisting. And with that, I see, you know what? I'm gonna send a centaur up there because I don't want to destroy it immediately. I want to get up there full health, annihilate these infantry because I still hold it. But that's when these are the guys I hate. Even only guys on the Russians that I hate more than the conscripts, because they got like, what is it, 5 guys, 6 guys there with PPSHs, almost unstoppable unless you have like them suppressed. But like with like bolt action and stuff. But the centaur sends them running for the low ground because it controls the hills. And obviously they're trying to get him with a mortar, but all I gotta do is move a couple feet. Sort of like a impossible edge too. And I noticed they got the anti-tank on there, so I'm spinning around, just dancing all around them. Just boom, boom. That's a little dangerous though, going that wide, because I mean that's harder to quickly move that way. But I mean this is just a beast of a machine. I would take this. The only thing is, it's not really that great, as you could see, against heavier vehicles, or at least vehicles in general. Like with the exception of like a Jeep or that little tank. Like it took longer to destroy that than I had wished or hoped. Now that I know this, but I mean this thing is super anti-infantry. You can literally destroy squads of Russians solely with this thing. This thing's unstoppable, and as you can see. Even now, they're using so much manpower, because that's what they would do before sometimes. As the Russians is just use this manpower, especially before I never really faced them both where they were both Russians. But now they've got this huge amount of manpower. One Russian team is a significant amount of manpower. 2 Russian, oh I forgot to miss that. I forgot that glider thing. Either way, it's the similar thing. But 2 Russian teams, massive amount of manpower, and you guys could see it. I'm not exaggerating here. Huge amounts of manpower, and it's just the way you counter it is these effective vehicles. They're pretty cheap, not really that like super cheap. Let me just get this over here. Let's see, 100 fuel, 320 manpower, so not a lot of manpower, kind of heavy on the fuel. You gotta be in there, you gotta be in it to win it, basically. And right now they've got 16 points, they're trying desperately. I've got 214. It's pretty clear who is the victor now, not to be boastful, but I mean, if they're fighting to the end, as traditional, destroy one. That's the only thing you gotta do. Just destroy the front thing on that. But by then, it was not too late, because you can keep going if you hold all the points quickly, as you guys saw that I did several times. But that thing is not anti-infantry, with like, not primarily like the Sherman tanks. Basically, I'm sending these anti-tank guns running because they get annihilated, and then I just boom send in this final airstrike that made frames go down on everybody's. Including mine, not as much, but his like 4 frames. But I mean, just I love that. That's my favorite thing about the Commander. I think even more than the glider. Okay, maybe not, because I like the look of it. But I mean, just massive. You just saw what it was before. Now after that, but I mean that's massive, like 325 munitions. Probably talking too fast as usual. But as you can see, I hold this one up here. No one's really up there. We're all spent on manpower. They have this area solidified. That's a great position with the MGs, but I mean, all I had to do was just hold them off in the vehicles so they can't capture the points. So what can they do? I think, yeah, they even got a Panzer IV. I kind of wanted to see that in action. I was building up another Centaur. Or no, wait, that was a I don't know why I would build a Cromwell. Probably just to get rid of the vehicles, but that's a pretty good tank too for its level. But as you can see, I was building up a counterattack to try and, just in case they took too many of the points, I'd concentrate all my forces on one, take it, and then just hold it for a couple seconds. As you can see here, they had a conscript squad coming in, but either way, I still held the hill despite there being no one up there. I mean, you could argue that they could have sent a person up there, but for all the troops that you waste on an undefended territory, which is sort of why I didn't capture this one, and I kind of hoped that the bot would, because, I mean, if you send a squad here, it's good to actually get up from right there, but, I mean, it's just opportunity cost. And men transition. But all in all, I won. It was a great battle, because last time I was telling you guys about the replay I had between me, Littletoast, Michael2274 on the, I believe it was Road to Kharkov. Yes, Road to Kharkov. And I was Oberkommando West. That's when I first got it. It's after the I was sometime in July, I think, June or July. But for whatever reason, sometimes Company of Heroes 2 deletes my replays, like maybe when I turn off my computer or something. So I really wanted to get this one out, record this real quick. Let's see, when I'm recording it, it's the 29th. It was on Monday, I believe. Monday. somewhere around there. Yeah, I think Monday. But either way, as you can see, a massively at this battlefield. These Centaur, I'd give the Centaur men, the drivers and gunners, the engineers of the Centaur medal. Fantastic. If you guys have the British forces, use the Centaur against infantry. It will defeat Germans. It'll defeat Russians. It'll defeat Americans. It'll defeat other British. It is awesome anti-infantry. I'd be more cautious when using it against like heavier armor, like this assault gun. It sort of laid waste to it a bit. But as you can see, it's very mobile too. You're just gonna move it around. Micromanagement. Again, double-edged sword. You win that battle, but do you win the other battles elsewhere? And as you can see, 2 anti-tank guns here. Conscript squad. They were holy crap, 3 anti-tank guns. They were getting a little sick of the old Centaur, eh? And 4 anti-tank guns just to get rid of one stupidly awesome machine. Kudos to the British for that. Kudos to the British forces. I definitely recommend you guys get the British forces. As you can see here, glad to have my victory, and I can't wait to see you guys for my 200th episode special. Thanks for watching, and tune in for that.
We just raise the bar class, we don't give air at sass if you're a Democrat.